Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to discuss about simplex method by using LPP. Here we have a question says that solve the LPP by using simplex method. Here we have given objective function and constraints. Max z is equals to 3x1 plus 2x2 subject to the constraints minus x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 1, x1 less than or equal to 2, x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 3, x1 x2 greater than or equal to 3. Now we have to solve this question. Here we have given a maximization problem. So max z is equals to 3x1 plus 2x2 subject to the constraints minus 2x1 plus x2. Here we have to introduce some slack variables in order to make the constraints constant. Okay, s1 equal to 1, x1 plus, here we don't have x2, so s2 equal to 2, s1 plus x1 plus x2 plus s3 equal to 3, s1 s2 s3. After adding the slack variables in the constraints, we have to add these slack variables into the objective function. s1 s2 s3. Here its coefficient becomes 0 plus 0 s3. Okay, understand guys? First we have to add some slack variables to the constraints and we have to add it in the objective function. Okay, next we have to formulate the simplex table. So this is how we have to formulate the table. Okay, here we have cj means the objective function coefficients. We have to write here objective function values. Okay, here we have the coefficients of objective function are x1 is 3, x2 is 2, s1 is 0, s2 is 0, s3 is 0. So we have to write these coefficients in cj. Okay, 3, 2, 0, 0, 0. Here basic variables of objective function means x1, x2, s1, s2, s3. Okay, x1, x2, s1, s2, s3. Here we have to write constants of the constraints 1, 2, 3. We have 1, 2, 3. Here we have to write slack variables s1, s2, s3. Here cs means coefficients of slack variables. We have s1 0, s2 0, s3 0. So 0, 0, 0. Here we have to write the values of the constraints means coefficients of the constraints. First equation coefficients minus 2, 1, 1, minus 2, 1, 1. Here we don't have s2, s3, so here s2, s3 becomes 0. Okay, next we have to write second constraint values. Here we have only x1 and s2, so x1 equals to 1, x2 is not there, s1 is also not there, s2 is 1, s3 also not there, so it becomes 0. Next we have to write constraint the three values x1 plus x2 plus s3 equals to 3, so 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. Here we have to write the constants 1, 2, 3. Understand guys how to fill the table. Okay, once again I will explain. cj means the coefficients of the objective function. We have to write coefficients of the objective function. Next basic variables means these are the basic variables of objective function. Next here we have to take the coefficients of constraints. Here we have to fill the constant values, and next here we have to write slack variables. Here coefficients of slack variables. These are the constants of constraints. Okay, next we have to calculate Zj minus Cj. Okay, how to calculate Zj minus Cj means, now here we have Zj. How to calculate Zj? First I will say how to calculate Zj. Means 0 into 2, 0 here, Cs into x1, okay, Cs into x2, Cs into x3, Cs into s2, Cs into s3. How? This is how we have to calculate the Zj. For example, I will show the x1 values how to calculate. 0 into 2 plus 0 into 1 plus 0 into 1 means all becomes 0. This is how we have to calculate Zj for each of the values. Okay, here we have it got 0, means next we have to calculate x2. X2 means 0 into 1, 0 into 0, 0 into 1, which means it all becomes 0. Here it also becomes 0, 0, 0. Okay, next we have to calculate Cj. Here what are the values of Cj? Here we already have Cj values 3, 2, 0, 0, 0 means 0, sorry, 3, 2, 0, 0, 0 means minus 3, minus 2, 0, 0, 0. Understand guys? Minus 2, minus 3, minus 2, 0, 0, 0. This is the value of Zj minus 3j. Now we have to consider from this which is the most negative value. From the Zj minus 3j we have to consider most negative value. Which one is the most negative value from this? Minus 3, right? So we have to write like this, which means this is the key row, key elements. These are all key elements. Next, key column. This is key column. Okay, next we have to divide this key column into this minimum ratio divided by minimum ratio values. Okay, sorry, minimum ratio values divided by key column elements. Okay, understand? Minus 2 by 1 by 1 equals to, here we don't have to consider negative values and infinity values and also 0 value. Here we have to consider only positive values. This is, here we have do not consider negative values. Here from this two, which one is the most minimum value, that we have to consider. Here which one is the most minimum value? 2. So this becomes, so this row becomes key row. Okay, here all negative values are came. That's why in maximization problem we should not get negative values here. So until, so guys, here we have negative values, so we have to do another iteration tables, right? So now we are going to solve second iteration table. Okay, here Cj values are same and slack this also same, basic variables also have to be written same. Okay, 3, 2, 0, 0, 0, x1, x2, s1, s2, s3. In previous table we have got this row is there now, this is outgoing row and x1 is incoming row. Okay, here we have pivot element, this we call as pivot element. Okay, now here s1, here we don't have to write s2 because s2 is outgoing, s1 x1 is incoming. Here we have to write x1 and s3. Okay, s1 value is 0, x1 value is 3, x3 s3 value is 0. Okay, so guys, this is how we have to write the table, but we do not need to fill these values because we have to do some calculations. After that we need to fill this table by considering this pivot element. We have to make sure that up element and down element of pivot element should be 0. Okay, after making this 0, we have to fill those columns here, fill those rows here. Okay, by doing row reduction. Okay, now here we will write this row 1 0 0 1 0. Okay, and 2. Here these elements should be 0. Okay, how we have to make them 0? Here we have to minus 2. So by doing some row reduction, we will get here as 1. How? R1 equal to R1 plus 2R2. Okay, how? Means R1 values are minus 2. Here I am doing roughly minus 2 1 1 0 0. Okay, R2 values are 1 0 0 1 0. Okay, R1 plus R2 minus 2 minus 1. Sorry, here we have to do 2R2. Okay, sorry, 2 into 2, 2 into 2, 2 into 1, 2 into 1. Okay, minus 2 plus 2 0 1 1 minus 2 0. Okay, we have to fill this row here 0 1 1 minus 2 and we got 0. Here we have to do this also. These values also same. Here we have, in previous table we have 1. Okay, and 2. 1 and 2 plus here becomes 4 5. Understand guys, here we have in previous S1 we have 1. Okay, here 2. After doing calculations we got 5. So this 5 have to be written here. Okay, next we have S. Here we have to do same like this row reduction for row 3. R3 equal to R3 minus R1. So in previous table we have 1 and minus 1, 1 and minus 2. Sorry, here this both we have to consider 1 and 1. So R3 minus R2 or R2 minus R3. Okay, like this. What are the values we have? 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 0 minus plus 1 minus 1 0 1 0 minus 1 1. Okay, this has to be written here 0 1 0 minus 1 1. Okay, here we have 2 and 3, 2 and 3. So 3 minus 2 we got 1. Okay, this one has to be written here. So this is how we have to fill this table. We have to make sure that the pivot elements up and down elements are to be 0. Okay, next these same elements has to be written in minimum ratio 5 2 and 1. Okay, understand guys. Next we have to do zj minus cj column calculations. Okay, how? 0 into 0, 3 into 1, 0 into 0 means 3, we will get 3 minus 3. Next 0 into 1 0, 3 into 0, 0 into 1 0 minus 2. I am writing directly guys, understand. 0 into 1 0, 3 into 0, 3 0 into 0 0 0 3 into 0 means 0 minus 0, 3 minus 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 minus 0. Okay, we got minus 3, minus 2, sorry, here we will get 0, sorry, minus 2, 0, 3, 0. Here, which one is the most negative value? This is. So, this row becomes, sorry, this column becomes keep column, right? By dividing these elements by this, we will get key row. By 1, 2 by 0, 1 by 1. Okay. 5 divided by 1, 5. This is infinity, this is 1. So, this is the key column. 1 is the most negative value. This becomes as the key column. Now, here 1 is the pivot element. Okay. 1 becomes pivot element. We have to do. So, here as we got negative values, again we have to do the same process until this all zj minus cj column becomes positive. Okay, we have to do another calculations. So next we have to calculate another iteration table. Here same values of objective function coefficients has to be written. 3, 2, 0, 0, 0. Next those coefficients, sorry, those basic variables s1, s2, s3. In previous table we got x2 as incoming row, incoming column, and this x3, s3 as outgoing. Okay, this x2 has incoming and s3 has outgoing. So instead of s3 we have to write x1. Okay, x1 has to be write same. Next, in previous one we got x1, so here also we have to write x1 and x2 is incoming. x2 is incoming. This coefficients 0, x1 coefficient is 3, x2 coefficient is 2. Okay, now which this row has to be written same. Okay, 0, 1, 0, minus 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, minus 1, 1. Okay, next we have here we have 0, right? There is no need to calculate this row. Okay, because pivot element, upper elements or down elements has to be 0. Here we have already 0, so no need to calculate row 2. So same has to be written. One, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. Okay, here also we have to write these elements 2 and 1. Okay, now we have to calculate row 1 by how we can calculate simply by doing this minus this, or row 1 minus row 3, or row 3 minus row 1. Okay, that is r1 tends to r1 minus r3. What are the elements of r1? 0, 1, 1, minus 2, 0. 0, 1, 1, minus 2, 0. 0, 1, 1, minus 2, 0. What are the elements of row 3? 0, 1, 0, minus 1, 1. Okay, and also 1 and 5. Minus, here we will get 4, 0, 0, 1, 3, minus 3, 1. Okay, these values has to be written in row 1. 4, 0, 0, 1, minus 3 and minus 1. Okay, So see guys, here the pivot in previous table we got this as pivot element. So pivot elements, upper elements has to be 0. So we got 0. Okay. Now we have to do Zj minus Cj column. 0 into 0, 0. 3 into 1, 3 into 1, 3. 2 into 0, 0. 3. We will get here 3. Minus 3. Next x2. 0 into 0, 3 into 0, 2 into 1. 2. Minus 2. Okay. Next 0 into 1, 0, 0, 3 into 0, 0, 2 into 0, 0, minus 0. Next 0, 3, sorry, 0 into minus 3, 0, right? 3 into 1, 3. 3 into minus 2 into minus 2. This column we will do calculation here. 3 into 1 plus 2 into minus 1. Okay. Minus 0 into minus 3 plus 0 plus 3 plus minus 2. Minus 2. 3 minus 2 becomes 1. So here we will get 1. 0 into 0, 3 into 0, 2 into 1. Here we have 1. So here we will get 2. Okay. Minus 0. So what the values we got here? 3. 2 minus 2. Sorry. 3 into 3 minus 3, 0. 0. 0. 1. And 2. Okay. So here we got all the elements as 1 and 2. All the elements as positive. So we got the optimum solution. So after getting all the elements as positive, here we have to stop our iteration problem. Finally we got all the values as positive. So we have to next write x1 and x2 values. Okay, here from here we have to take the x1 and x2 values. X1 value is 2, x2 value is 1. Okay, x1 value is 2, x2 value is 1. After getting x1 and x2 values, we have to substitute them into the objective function. Max z is equals to 3x1 plus 2x2. So 3 into 2 plus 2 into 1. We will get 3 to the 6 plus 2 equal to 8. So this is how we have to do the simplex method. This is an easy process. Do you guys understand? First we have to introduce some slack variables to the constraints and write those slack variables into the objective function. After writing, we have to calculate the simplex method. First we have to write all the values, then we have to check if we got any negative values. If we get any negative values, we have to consider which one is the most negative values and make that column as the key column. And after getting the key column, we have to divide these elements by minimum ratio. Okay, divide these and these elements. After getting the value, after dividing this, we will get some values. Here we don't have to consider negative and infinity values. Here we only have to consider minimum and positive values. From this, which one is the minimum value, we have to consider that column has, that row has key row. After considering, next if we get negative values, we have to do like this. After getting pivot element, we have to make sure that pivot element upper elements are to be 0, upper and down elements are to be zeros. By how we can solve that? By using row reduction method. We have to do upper and down lower elements of pivot elements as 0. This is how we have to, after getting, even after solving the second iteration, even if we get negative values, after doing second iteration also we have to do another iteration table. After doing that, if we will get all positive values, then we have to stop our solution. And if you have to check whether your solution is correct or wrong, you have to add your x1 and x2 values into the objective function. Okay, so guys, this is how you have to calculate the simplex method using LPP. So guys, if you like my video, please like, share and do support to my channel. See you in the next video. Thank you guys.